right. This is Mr. Walk That Walk, and this is another episode of Can You Connect? And today's episode is going to be about people who are submissive and people who are manipulative. And we're going to start out with the submissive people first. And these people are usually, people pleasers that avoid conflict and mostly put other people's needs before them. And their behavior usually consists of struggling to take responsibility or making decisions of their own, to the point that they'll discount their own needs. At times they'll feel like a victim. At times they'll blame others, for maybe their mistakes. And sometimes these people usually refuse to take compliments. And at times they are inexpressive of feelings and desires. And their nonverbals are usually a soft voice. They usually make themselves small. They usually twist or fidget. They don't use eye contact and usually have low energy. And they may say something like, maybe if something happens, like, oh, it's nothing, I'm fine, or when it comes to making the decision, they'll be like, you could choose rather than making the decision for themselves. And at times they may feel frustrated, because you're not really pursuing your desires or your dreams. So they may feel also guilty and feel like they don't know what they really want. And at times they may give up because they're not really going for their passions in life. If you don't have something to drive you or something to pursue, it's like, how can you really move forward? So that's just something to think about. And the next type of people we are going to be talking about are the people who manipulate. So of course, these people are usually scheming or calculating, like trying to get over on you. They could be trying to control you or influence you. They're usually cunning. They usually ask for stuff indirectly. They make others feel obligated to help them, or sorry for them to help them. It's like whatever they have to do to get what they need out of you, they're gonna try to use it. Even to the point of using like fake tears. They'll usually use phrases like, oh, you're lucky to have this, or, to make you try to lend your stuff to them, or they may actually say that I want, whatever you got, or a vehicle that you got. I want that vehicle or something like that. So just some, certain people to keep in mind, And for how they feel, it's kind of the same. Usually frustrated, probably because how can you control somebody? And at oftentimes they definitely feel guilty. They definitely feel angry or irritated or even resentful because probably maybe they weren't able to get their own way. And at times annoyed because if you're spending all that time trying to control somebody, it's never going to go the way you want it to go. And even if it does, it's going to be hard to repeat that. You can't because every situation is different. So those could be some reasons why, they would feel frustrated or resentful because they didn't get the way. And yeah, that is about it for this episode. Short and sweet, straight to the point. And stay tuned for the next episode. And of course, we're supporting Black-owned businesses. So there's a Black-owned restaurant that I've been to, one of my friends. They threw like brunch events. I think that was before the pandemic. But they usually sell like seafood based food. So like subs, like seafood subs. So it's pretty good. Well, the brunch was good. I didn't really have the seafood, but if you're able to cook one thing right, you can cook other things right. Usually, for the most part. Don't quote me on it. But it was cool. It was a nice environment. It was good people. Yeah, they're just real chill. I'll put their information in the description, their website, the address, and phone number. I'll put that all in the description. So definitely check them out. I think they were called Po Boy Gym, something like that. The name will be in the description. It was an interesting name. And definitely if anybody's interested in individual couples therapy, just send me an email. And if you're maybe interested in behavioral health, working through bad habits and trying to get them to good habits, definitely send me an email for that as well. And that will be it for this episode. So definitely stay tuned, be good to each other, help each other, work with each other. Let's not argue or continuously fight with each other, especially if we don't have to. Because we're in charge of our peace and our healing. So just some things to keep in mind. But y'all have a good rest of the night or day. And I will see y'all next week. All right. A little bit drama. Our homes are homes. They feel empty. Our dreams are dreams. Slowly shattered. And our bodies are losing matter. What did it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Is there a way for a future commitment? Why do we wait to repaint the world? When the world loses color, it's our goal to paint the night. Yeah. When the world loses color, it's our goal to bring them back. Yeah. Our emotions have no home. Our feelings have gone wrong. Our beautiful women